So this is a video on things that I dislike about my car. Not necessarily hate, I mean I'll probably call it that because that's the title. Um, Everyone says, oh, like things that I hate, things that I love, so things that I dislike. And I'm not doing like 5 or 10, it's just things that I've not enjoyed or did not like or have annoyed me in the past 3 weeks. So it's over 20 something. But the first one is the aircon. I thought there was something wrong with it. I thought it was like coolant leaking or something else. It's not. It was basically the aircon. As soon as you put it on, drip, 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 drip. Quite excessive. Every time I'm out or if I'm parked up, like yesterday I was parked up somewhere having a coffee and someone said, your car's leaking fluid. And then the guy behind me went, no, that's the aircon, right? I went, yep. So it's just condensation. The thing that's it's quite excessive though. But I mean, like where the car gets so hot, you can hear it just like burning. But you'll see what I mean in like this clip. So as you can see, it's just a little bit annoying where you always get like a puddle everywhere every time you use the aircon. I'm not sure why it happens. It's the way that the car is. So if you've got GranTurismo and you park up and see loads of liquid everywhere, try not to panic. Check your coolant first. If it's not that, it's most likely just condensation. But let's get into the video and move on to the next things that I dislike about this car. One of the things I don't like about this car is this. These wheels sit way too far in, as you can see. They sort of like hide away. So you'd be like at least probably about here or even out would be better, but it just goes too far in. That's what I don't like about it. So a lot of people modify it and they get like spacers to bring it out, and I mean it's not a massive deal. I mean I'm not that fussed about it. Obviously these need a bit of a refurb. These rings, yeah, we'll get it done at some point. The stance, don't know if you can tell from here, but the front sits a lot lower than the back, so it sort of goes at a weird like slant. So I think some people would probably like lower it. But yeah, that's another thing. It's just a little bit of a stance issue. It's not like 50-50 basically. It's like it's sort of going down at the nose just slightly. Can't really tell. It's not a massive difference, but it's there. So another thing I don't like about it is, obviously, like it's dirty at the moment, which brings me on to what I don't like about it is that when you actually clean the car, go for a car wash or just get it really wet with a jet washer, sometimes the car goes a little bit mental, and because if you get too much water in it, basically like you get all the electrical like sort of gremlins happening. So basically you get so I think last time I had it car washed properly through this car wash, basically what happened was I turned the car on, it all worked fine. It's just that none of the gauges worked at all, so I couldn't see like the miles per hour, what my petrol gauge was, like the rev counter. So just be mindful of when you give it a wash or it's like really raining hard, sometimes the water can get into places where it shouldn't really go, and then it does that. I mean it's only happened once so far in 3 weeks, so, and I've had a lot of rain, so I think it's just if you go through a car wash. So here's another reason why I don't like it. It's hard to work on. As you can see, the alternator, brand new one's there. They had to take off the manifold to get to it, so a lot of times if you want to work on the engine you've got to take a lot of stuff off. There's a lot of plastic, as you can see, so there's a lot of screws, so a lot of times you've got to take off the front bit to work on it. Even just changing the air filter, which you can't even really see, it's down there somewhere. So to get to everything you've got to take off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, I think it's 17. So yes, a lot to take off. Another thing I don't like about it, if you do a stupid thing that I done, which was I shut the boot by accident. So if you haven't got anything to basically reset like the battery. So a lot of OBDs don't do like the OBD scanners, basically like the software scanners, like where you can reset the warning lights. Yes, a lot of them do Ferraris and Lamborghinis, etc., but they don't do Maserati. So I've had to buy myself one. But if you haven't got one, you then got to reset every time you change a battery. So you've got to do a hard reset, which is take off the like the battery and like disconnect everything, and leave it for about an hour. Some say 10 minutes, some say 15, 30 minutes, an hour. So I'm not sure exactly how long to reset everything. Otherwise, again, when you change batteries, the car goes a little bit mental. It can do. I mean, it's not like always the case, but it can do. But when I disconnected it, I had the tool in the front, and because basically I had yeah, like the spanner was in the front, but because I worked out that you can't unlock the door and open the door when the boot's open for some reason, so I stupidly shut the boot, and then I couldn't open this. Which brings me on to another thing I hate about this car. If you can't do it from there's a manual, obviously I can't show you because this is broken at the moment, I'm getting this fixed, but down there somewhere there's a cable which is also stuck, which is not working now, and plus it really hurts when you try to pull it. If that doesn't work, you've got to try and jump start it, and looking at this I didn't know where the hell the leads were, so you've got to take all this off, take that off to get to the fuse box, which has then got like where you can put on like a jump start cable, earth it, and then have your doors locked, not do what I done. So shut the doors, lock it, unlock it, and then do your boot, and it should open it, which actually works with me. But that's another thing I don't like about it. So that brings me on to the other thing that I don't like about it, is what I was just talking about. Obviously, I've got a lot of stuff in the way because of my job. I mean, that is one thing I do like about it. It's when it actually moves forward, but it does take a little bit of time because it's electric. I still prefer manual seats. So here, this is what's annoying. The cable is under here somewhere. I can just about reach it, and it's cool. It's not working, so I've got to get this sorted out. Usually, it will stick out and hang out here, I think, but yeah, it's just annoying. You've got to keep pulling back this carpet, try and find it, and when you do get it, it really hurts your fingers to try and pull it, and it's not working at the moment. So this is I wish they just done, you know, what normal cars do. You not even push a button, because it's like it's an electric button that you've got to do to release the boot. But if your battery's disconnected or flat and the cable's not working and you haven't got any jump leads on you, I mean, it's just nicer just to, you know, like pull something, just like with that. Really, like to lift the hood up, you've got to just pull something. I mean, I can't see why they can't just do it, but yeah. So that's another thing I don't like about it. Another thing I don't like about it is you've got to tender charge it. So I've actually got a proper battery this time because they put in the wrong battery for some reason. What I have done is I've connected it all up so you don't have to keep on trying to, like, you know, do it yourself, and it all basically goes here. And even put it all out with all the cables. So I've got this one here, which is always recommended for Maserati, but as you can see, it's flashing on this bit now. So this tells you basically like how much it's charged up. So this basically is telling me that it sort of needs charging. But yeah, so it just sort of just like tells you really. So if I go to this side, it's actually upside down. Right, so it's saying that it's okay basically. If it goes to here, and then you've got to basically think about charging it up. If it's on red, which it has been before, and then you've got to charge it up. So basically you've got to tend to charge it probably, I would say once a week, but I've been doing it once a week, but it seems like when I check this afterwards, it's on the red. So I'm not sure, and I drive it every day, so I'm not sure if I've got to do it at least twice a week, but it doesn't take long. I mean, when I put it on to charge, it only takes like 2 hours or something. But yeah, that's just another annoying thing, is tender charging it, because you got to keep it above, I think it's like 12 point something volts, I can't remember what it is, but as soon as it goes below that, you start getting electrical gremlins saying that there's something wrong with the car. So that's just another thing I don't like about it. And they can go through batteries apparently quite quickly, so that's why I always get one with like a 5-year warranty on it. So that's the only thing you've got to maintain is the battery. That's another thing I just don't like about it, but it's not too sad. I mean, this cost me like £100 like for all this, so it's not too sad. So another thing I don't like is that you can't really go through here. I mean, the thing I do like is that you can actually put the seats, these seats, all the way down, so it's literally like a bed, which is good. But if I want to get something large in, I can't really like go through the boot, so you've only got it from there to there. You can still get quite a bit in, but yeah, that's the only downside, you can't go through the boot. Another thing I don't like about this car is all these sticky buttons all over here, especially this one, the sport button, because everyone uses that quite often. This is disgusting, especially here. I can actually feel like it all going gooey. It's when it gets hot, and I think I don't know what it is they've done to it, but some sort of chemical, or I don't know what it is, but it's just all going all weird, and you've got to maintain it and get done by a specialist. And you can see all the, look, you can see there, so you can see like basically like fingerprint marks, basically, all hair. It's all caught on it, especially this one. Look, the petrol cat gets used quite a lot, so you look, see it all going all weird there. Look how gooey that is. That's absolutely disgusting. So that's just, yeah, it's just not very nice. I mean, this is okay. I mean, that's going a bit weird. But yeah, it's just it's not very nice with especially when you're touching all like the aircon bits, especially this turning up and down. And that's the worst one actually. It just feels really, really sticky. So yeah, it's not very nice. Another thing I don't like about this car is this. Not just because I don't like petrol caps, it's because this is open quite a lot, because I'm always going to the petrol station, because it only does on average, I think, about 14.6 miles to the gallon. So I think the first week I had this, I spent probably, I don't know, like £400, because I was driving it quite hard. Yes, you're always at the petrol station basically, so you've got to be careful and mindful of how you drive it and how often you drive it. If you can't afford it, and then you definitely won't be able to get one of these. Even though they're cheap to buy, these cars, it's just the petrol is ridiculous. Another thing I don't like, I mean, I like the brakes because they're all drilled, but because they're drilled, you've got to obviously maintain them, so sometimes it gets clogged up and you've got to like poke through it or get someone to poke through it. But it's because they're drilled, it's a weird brake feel. Like you put your foot down, it just feels like, I don't know, it feels like it's like grabbing something. So it's just a really weird brake feel, but they work. I mean, it's just a sort of odd sensation. So another thing I don't like about this car, as you can see, is the size. So it's a nice looking car, but it is a big car because it's a Grand Tourer. It's not really a sports car, even though it feels and sounds like a sports car. It's a Grand Tourer. It is absolutely massive. I mean, it's just about on my drive. So this is nearly 5 meters long. So it's quite a lot, and it's very annoying to park. Another annoying thing is this, the electric handbrake. The thing that's annoying is that you've got to leave it in park, and you've got to basically not ever put that on, because if you're sat like for quite a while, maybe a day or something, like if you're on the hill, it's fine, you can quickly do it, and it could be there for like a few hours. But they recommend, if anything, like quite a long time, like 24 hours or above, you shouldn't really have this on, because especially when it rains, because we're in the UK, obviously it's always pretty much raining, the brakes get sticky if you just keep leaving this on. So I've learned not to have this on, which means you've got to have it in park, which I'm not sure if that's bad for the car, because I was always told in the automatic, if you put it in park and leave this off, obviously you've got a little bit of play, that it puts pressure on this, and then, you know, it can ruin it. So I'm not 100% sure, but I've been told on like on the internet and the forums and everything and research that you should leave it off. But I'm not sure if it's a bad thing for this, because obviously in the manual it says to have it on. But yeah, so that's just another bad thing I don't like. And with that, you've got to always hold this until park off comes on, and then turn off the car every time that I park it. So another thing I don't like about this car, obviously I've got to get this, I'll show you this because this is the reason why. Parts are ridiculously hard to come by, so I've had to order this cable because it's like snapped. That was £191, but because they couldn't find any in the UK, they had to go to like Italy and get it from there. So it's 230 odd pounds to get that over. So yeah, parts are quite hard to find, and if you do find them, you might have to order them abroad and you might have to wait a long time. Which brings me on to how much it all is. So parts are hard to come by, as you know, as I just said, but it's how expensive that they are. So like obviously with the cable, like the door, it's £191, but now it's like £237 because they couldn't get it. The alternator, I think they wanted like £913 from Maserati, but you don't have to go with them. But yeah, parts are expensive, labour costs because you can't get to anything, so you've got to be mindful that you're going to be spending a lot of money maintaining this vehicle if anything goes wrong with it. Another thing I don't like about this car is the heat. Like even when you're sitting here, the heat from this position, like even now I can feel like hot air just hitting me. Which brings me on to another reason why I don't like it, is the fan. This every now and then just goes really loud, even louder than what the exhaust is sometimes, so that's just another thing I'm not really a fan of, sorry for the pun. Another thing I don't like about it, you can't really see it, but the airbox is a bitch to change. The aftermarket stuff doesn't really fit properly, and I don't know if you can see them, but down here there are these. I won't touch it because it's hot, but it's the sleeves that go on to like the air intake, like there, so like the air goes through it. These are a nightmare. I've put them on to try and like keep them on, but they don't really fit well, and there's like bits of like gaps, so like the air's not really like tight. I don't know why they thought of this idea, but yeah, not a fan. Another thing I don't like, this. I don't know why, but it's like there's just a gap. It looks like it's broken, but it's not, because I've been in other Maseratis. You can basically see all like the insides of like where the airbags got. Look, this is all like sticking out. It's under here. You can see it really, but yeah, it just looks a bit not well thought out. So another thing I don't like about this car, it's quite heavy. I think it's like nearly, I'm not sure exactly what it is, like 1900 or nearly like 2 tons, but it's quite a lot. Do you notice it? Not really. People say that they do, but I don't. Yes, compared to my Z4, if you're comparing it like that, then yeah, fair enough. But I mean, overall, I don't think it's really that bad. I mean, it's got really good handling and that. But yeah, like the power to weight ratio, I think that's what they're trying to refer to. So yeah, that's what. I mean, yeah, you don't get like put into a seat, but it's still fun, especially if you just drag the hell out of it in like first gear. So yeah, it's heavy, but it's not too bad. So that's just another thing that might put you off about this car, that it's quite heavy. So obviously I told you that I don't like the brake feel, but obviously another thing that I don't like is the brakes. Now, they work very well, but if you drive it like a normal person, they don't work. So if you like put your foot down a little bit, you know, it takes a while to like work really. Like it's sort of like as you're going down, it sort of like grabs, and then stops like straight away. So like I said, they're very grabby. You have to put your foot down just a little bit harder to do it. You can't just put it down gently like you can do in like modern vehicles. So you just got to be wary of. Just got to put a bit more force down and allow a little bit more time, and you'll be fine. Another thing I don't like about this car is downsides of all like the warning lights, and you hear that lighting up like a Christmas tree. It's true. I mean, obviously when I first got the car, because the battery wasn't like maintained, you know, it's an old battery, it was the alternator was fading, so it just going berserk really, just going into limp mode. So yeah, so you got to watch out for like all that sort of stuff. Like I said before, it happens usually when it gets like wet or that you haven't been tender charging it, but even just like the slightest electrical like error or failure, it will just go mental and then come up with about 20 different warnings saying that your car's basically fucked, but it's not. It just doesn't know what to do. That's the trouble with all these brand new cars as well. As soon as like a tiny electrical glitch happens, the whole car just completely fucks up. Not like the old cars where you could just, you know, you've got a problem, the car runs fine, you fix it. But now you're gonna need all these computers to tell it what to do, especially with Maserati. You've got to tell it what to do every time, and you've got to buy your own software OBD checker to do it. Because if you go to dealers and Halfords or whatever, they have it, but they only got Ferrari on there. They can't do Maserati, which is weird because technically Maserati is Ferrari, so I'm not sure who is behind that. But yeah, you just need to watch out for warning errors basically. Another thing I don't like about this car is if it's like raining. You're not necessarily flooring it, but if you're going like 50 or 60 and it's raining, it becomes quite sketchy. So it sort of moves around a little bit, and you've got to like fight against it when you're like in the rain. I mean, sometimes it can be quite scary, but saying that, that's when I've always been in sport mode, which obviously turns the traction down slightly. If it was in sport mode, it might be alright, but I'm never really not in sport mode, so. But yeah, so you just got to be wary of like if it's raining and you're in sport mode, just don't floor the shit out of it because you will be skidding. But it handles itself well. I mean, if you do start slipping, which I haven't really had, it's just a bit sketchy. You're fine. Like, it's safe. It's just it feels like you've got to fight against it, so you just got to be careful. Now, number one thing I don't like about this car, and that's the steering feel. So it's hydraulic powered steering, so it shouldn't feel like it's an electric powered steering, but it does. When you're driving like I am now at 40, it's quite heavy. If you're driving or like parking and you do like 2 miles an hour or something, it's very heavy. But if you're driving like 60 miles or over, like an hour, it becomes so light, it becomes like, it's not hydraulic no more, it's just like full on electric power steering. That's what it feels like. It doesn't even feel like a hybrid. So the steering feel becomes very light, a bit too light for my liking, but it's probably the number one downside to it is when you're at higher speeds, it becomes really light. So you want to be careful not to turn sharply. So I hope you enjoyed my video. So as I was saying, that hate's a strong word, so it's basically things that I dislike about it. Not necessarily hate about it, but people put that as their title, don't they? But yeah, like if you're looking for one, they're really not that bad. Don't let people put you off. A lot of people will say, oh, don't get Maserati, like it's a money pit and this, that and the other. They're so unreliable. They're not unreliable engine wise, to do with all of that. It's just like any other car. As long as you look after it, do regular services and like oil changes, etc. like that, but you should be alright. It's just that it's the electrical side of it, so you just need to make sure that you've got the correct battery, because a lot of people give you like the wrong battery. So make sure you've got like the correct battery, and make sure that you tender charge it. Even if you drive it like every day, try and tender charge it at least once a week if you can. Definitely at least once every 2 weeks I would definitely do. But yeah, try and charge it at least once a week. Even for a couple of hours, it doesn't really matter. Like, it doesn't take long to charge, because where you're doing it every week and you're driving it every day, it doesn't take long to actually charge up. So like to put on charge for like 2 hours until like it's gone through the checks, because it checks the battery as well. It doesn't just charge it checks it to see if it's like anything wrong with it, if it's maintaining charge, etc. So yeah, so just keep it on charge for like once a week, drive it regularly, and just do your regular service, change all your fluids. I would suggest changing all your fluids probably like every 2 years. Again, every 2 years probably go to like a Maserati specialist and get them to check the car over, check for corrosion, and just maintain it. And if it's well looked after, and you get one with like this car has pretty much full history, and then you'll be laughing really. I mean, I'm not saying that you might not get a bad one. You might get like a bad one and have loads of problems with it, and then you'll be shouting all about it on YouTube. That's usually what happens. People get like a bad one that's not been looked after, and then they go on YouTube and say, oh, all Maseratis are shit, basically. Well, that's not the case, is it? I mean, there's Ferraris and Lamborghinis out there that have caught on fire. What, you're going now to tell everyone that, oh, all Ferraris and all Lamborghinis can catch on fire every single time? No. That's due to, one, it's rare, and two, if it does happen, it's probably because of the idiots that are revving their engines non-stop while they're not even driving it, just rev, and that's usually what causes it to catch on fire. But just get one with full service history, it's been looked after, and then look after it yourself, and you'll be fine.